And I also want to go through a very quick overview on some controversial points. Again, these are documented with links in full on my blog. The first one is, what is it? What is Elenin? There seems to be a range of what it is. It's either a comet, it could be the dwarf star that we talk about. Science has confirmed that every star does have another associated star, typically a dwarf star, so it is possible that it's our dwarf star, although I will say that in my personal opinion I don't believe that that's the case. Some people are also saying that it's Nibiru, Planet X, which was described in the Sumerian tablets as decoded by Zecharia Sitchin. There's quite a bit of controversy over this, although I will say that its arrival date does not match up with the prediction that Zecharia Sitchin made. Another theory is that it's a spacecraft, and another theory is that while it may be a natural comet, that it's actually being manipulated, that its orbit is being manipulated. What I do want to say is that nobody knows for sure just yet. Nobody knows for sure. And all of these, including the comet, they're just theories at this point. What we're going to have to do is wait until it comes in closer, when our amateur astronomers can take better pictures of it. The trajectory. I do want to state that there's been a little bit of controversy over this. Some people are saying that it's a hyperbolic trajectory, which means it only comes in once. It's been reported that NASA had said that. I will say that NASA is now saying that it is orbital in nature, which means it goes out and comes back in. It's a full circle. The length of the orbit, this again, all over the board, folks, all over the board, anywhere from 1,000 to 15,000 years. Some folks are focusing on a 3,600-year orbit because that does correspond with Nibiru's orbit. Some folks are a lot closer to the 11,000 or 13,000 year orbit. 13,000 years would be half of the precession of the equinox, which refers to Earth's wobble, which takes 26,000 years to make one rotation. Again, I've got this in my blog. The size, again, no one knows. It's all over the board. Some people are thinking that it's very small in nature. Richard C. Hoagland, on a roundtable discussion given by Project Camelot, theorized that it was very small. Other people are theorizing that it's quite large, and they're saying that it must be large if it's on such a long orbit, which, again, I'm not an astronomer, I'm not a scientist, although I don't quite understand that theory, because I see other comets that are small that also have very large orbits. So I'm kind of experiencing a bit of a disconnect on that theory. Again, nobody knows for sure. Missing portion on Google Sky. There is a square blotch that's been omitted from Google Sky, which happens to be right where Elenin should have been at the time the picture was taken. There's a lot of controversy over this, and I am going to do a separate video to show you the coordinates and show you how you can see it on your own laptop. Prophecies. There's the Mayan prophecy and a Hopi prophecy. The Mayan prophecy associated with this, potentially, the Maya do talk about 3 days of darkness. These 3 days of darkness will correspond with, it will be the trigger for them to know that the shift of the ages is coming, that their long count calendar is coming to an end. The Maya tell us that they don't know if 2012 is the end of their long count calendar. They've lost those calculations, but what they do understand is that when they have 3 days of darkness, that will be the indicator that the shift is coming. More importantly, when we have these 3 days of darkness, they talk in detail about what to do during those 3 days, and it's to move away from fear and to use that time to get connected with the source, get connected to your light, so to speak, in that darkness, and most importantly, to have no fear. On my website, I do have a DVD available called The New Dawn by Don Alejandro, where he talks about the 3 days of darkness. He also talks about the end of the long count and 2012. Hopi prophecy. Some people are tying this to the Hopi prophecy that's associated with the Kachina. There's a lot of controversy even around those Hopi prophecies, the 9 Hopi prophecies, because it was shared by one white man with the rest of the world, and there's quite a bit of conjecture over whether or not those 9 prophecies really do represent the Hopi. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there for folks so that you're aware of that. The NASA Buzz Room. This one I think is pretty darn important. The NASA Buzz Room, it was kind of like a forum, a chat room, where you could post information about things relevant to NASA's going on. Someone had posted a video regarding Elenin, and thankfully someone had recorded what went on in the NASA Buzz Room. And what had happened was a NASA employee commented on this video on Elenin, and his quote is that, "These are my calculations, but I've revised the 0.24, which represents the closest distance Elenin will be to the Earth. He's revised it down from 0.24 down to 0.004617 AU on October 16th. Now, to give you an idea of what these calculations mean, 1 AU, like I had said earlier, is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. That's 93 million miles. 0.232 AU is 22 million miles, and 0.232 represents what we believe right now is when Elenin will be the closest distance to the Earth. 240,000 miles represents the distance between the Earth and the Moon. Okay? If we take what this gentleman from NASA says, and he said his calculation is 0.004617 AU equals approximately 50,000 miles, which is closer than some satellites. Again, I have all these calculations on my website, and I even have a link to the YouTube video that recorded this in the NASA Buzz Room. The NASA Buzz Room very shortly after that went offline, and they have not brought it back up since then. What NASA has done in June of this year has put out a preparedness communication to all of its staff, and they've sent it out via video and email. The video portion is available on their website, and again, I have a link to that in my blog. And you know, right now that's all we're going to go over with this update. I just wanted to make it as short and concise as possible. For the details of this, please go to my website, inspirationgale.com, where I have, like I said, a 3-part blog on this so that you can read it in detail. And for updates, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, or become a fan of mine on Facebook, where I am always posting updates on this as well as other things that are going on around the world, and the Mayan calendar, of course. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoy. Please, 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 if you have information about this, please do share it with me, because I try to compile it and bring the information back to everyone as clearly and concisely as possible. So hope you have an inspired day. Thanks.